What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about what's going on in the market and break down the structure on SPY. I'm also going to talk about some very important information about the market going forward. Before I begin to dive about all this information, before I talk about something very important, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm firstly not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Put in $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward. Anyways, let's talk about the market. So I told you guys earlier that the market was looking quite nice. We had many bullish technicals during the pre-market. As you can see, SPY is continuing to hold up. We actually entered this chop zone between this 436.25 to 436.64 resistance zone, and we managed to break above it. So now we have some resistance right here in the 437s, basically some tight resistance, but we do have a potential bullish triangle structure developing right here as the market's uptrending. And once again, getting stopped by this resistance, it's very likely that once it reaches the end, it's going to try to get that break to the upside, but not a guarantee, because if anything, if you were entering calls like way down here, you already had many potential exits for those positions, and it is risky to be holding this long. But then again, I mean, that's really up to your own risk tolerance. I did secure some profits on the calls. I have some longer term ones which I'm still holding, but I'm willing to lose money on those just in case. And once again, the structure is still looking more in favor of bulls. Now, looking at other stocks out there like Tesla got a breakout, and I warned you guys about it potentially breaking out. I told you guys Tesla looked very bullish in the pre-market as well. And to add on to that, I mean, if we look at this, let me just bring back the extended hours. All right. I told you guys Tesla had this resistance right here in the mid 250s. If we broke that, we're going to be watching some resistance around 257. So you can see right here, Tesla got this rejection. It actually took a little bit of time for it to get rejected and come back up. Now Tesla's major resistance is basically close to this 260 range. Still trying to fight it. If it manages to break it, you're going to be watching 262.5 and potentially 265. SPY is holding up nicely. We're once again testing this major resistance, getting very, very tight. If the bullish outcome prevails, we're going to be watching it break to the upside out of this structure. But if it doesn't work out, right, you're going to be watching it break, below this. If it breaks below this and it comes all the way down to like the 436 area, 436.25, that could invalidate this. For now, it's holding up, so just watch this very carefully. This is the structure I'm eyeing right now. I also have it right here on my trading view chart. I kept this as simple as possible for you guys, not too many levels. Let me just mention that the reason I have a trading view pulled up is because right now there's going to be some resistance around this 437 to 438 zone, right? But that's not the major resistance. The major resistance that's coming, if we do get another pump, if the market pumps, especially tomorrow, 442. This one actually is going to be the bigger one. There's some at 440, but 442, very, very important resistance. It's coming up if this thing does try to keep breaking up. This could even last until like tomorrow, going forward. But this is going to be a very important level I'm going to be eyeing for if we do get a breakout, okay, by tomorrow. Now, let me also remind you guys that tomorrow morning, we have the PPI report coming out. So this is just like CPI, except for the producer side. It could cause a big move in the markets. If this is a little bit hotter than expected, the market could gap down, the market could slow down. If it's a decent PPI, the market may continue to pump. PPI and the CPI do not guarantee anything about one another. That's why it's very important to manage risks, and to be very careful. And let me just remind you guys that after PPI comes out, we're going to be seeing the FOMC rate hike decision at about 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Then the press conference, the meeting with Jerome Powell, starts at 2:30 p.m. So for that reason, I mean, you could try to secure some profits here. You could try to keep playing it. It's really up to you. I'm not really giving any financial advice. I personally secured some profits right here, but I'm still holding in just a few positions for like the longer term. I'm always open-minded nonetheless. If anything, just know your risks and watch the structure carefully. Make sure you watch support and see if it holds. If it breaks below this, this is going to be a signal that, hey, this may not play out, right? You got to have your stops ready. If it keeps holding, you're going to be watching this resistance. Could we come down to get a backtest and then try to break out? If it breaks out, this thing could go flying and approach this 438 resistance. That's the next one to watch for if it does get the breakout. If not, like I said before, watch it all carefully. For Tesla, this is very interesting. 260, we're still kind of stuck trying to break 260. It is slowing down on the RSI right now, but overall, Still trying to hold up, so I do expect it to see some sideways action for the time being, but make some attempts to break 260. It's going to try maybe later on. We'll see if Tesla could do it, but for now, it is losing some volume. It is losing some momentum. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and going forward with this, it already made the bullish move, the bigger bullish move for the day. Looking forward, if you want to look at Ford is up pretty big. QQQ, I told you guys if it broke 360, the next resistance is 363.8. It ended up getting rejected at the high of the day, or I think before the high of the day came, it was like 364 to 363.7 basically is where it had the resistance. So if anything, it got stopped very close to my level, and that's going to be what we're watching right now on the triple Q. For now, it's holding up nicely. For Aapl, let's see what Apple's doing. Aapl, once again, it's just a little bit in the red, but you have to remember it's hitting some heavy resistance. It got very close to this 185 level, came just below it. Now Aapl is slowing down going forward. Now, if anything, I didn't see any like super major news about Aapl. It still is holding up nicely. I mean, it's still above 180, just barely in the red, but it did try to push as the day went on. So it's just trading sideways, very close to all-time highs. It's still, decent. It's not really tanking or anything like that. On the 4-hour time frame, it's always important to look at the bigger ones. The trend is losing some momentum, but it's not completely confirmed yet since we don't have a crossover on the PPO just yet. So it's just kind of range trading, doing the whole back and forth thing. Not much is going on with it. That's completely normal. Nothing too horrible for the time being. I told you guys in the morning, Nvda looked pretty good. I told you guys we had this inverse head and shoulders pattern that was developing, and I told you I'm going to be watching 405 on Nvda. If it broke out, it's going to get closer to about 410 to 411. And if we actually stopped at 409, we're still holding up. It's not done yet. If you look at the 4-hour, still looking pretty good. Amazon is just flat, a little bit in the red. What other tickers are there? Meta, holding up. All right. It got stopped at this 275 resistance, a zone I mentioned earlier. For now, it's just trying to hold up. It's just trading kind of flat and sideways. I think there was news about Cathie Wood, which involved Meta, but I will discuss more about that later on. All right, so anyways, I'm primarily just looking at AMD and SPY. AMD got a big drop not that long ago, but it showed big signs of reversal afterwards. On the 1-hour time frame, this is what we're looking at. We have a potential imbalance here. Still holding up nicely, but we're not getting a true confirmation of a bullish breakout. It's still, once again, just not extremely strong, but it has potential. I'm going to be hoping that this thing gets a nice bounce very, very soon. We're going to be watching this imbalance for the time being, but we need to see this thing develop a little bit longer and try to break above the 130 resistance. Finally, on I believe it's the 30-minute time frame, we're also going to look for confirmation on this. Still waiting for confirmation on the 30-minute. We're still waiting for it. It's still a little bit slow, very, very slow. So just be patient with that. Anyways, guys, watch the structure on SPY. I would like to use like the smaller time frames for scalps. If you want to use the 5-minute, you could also use like the 30-minute or the 1-hour time frames. We're going to watch this bullish triangle. Let's hope it holds up. If it breaks below this, like I said, it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. If it manages to break out as we get closer to like the power hour, it has potential. So just watch this carefully, get ready. And honestly, this is not like a very, very good entry for any positions, in my opinion. I was already entering like way back here. And these are like the positions where people should have entered. It's very late to be entering, but like I said, if you want to scalp like super quickly, I mean, it is possible, but just be very careful. Be careful with those stops. Let me remind you guys that PPI is coming out tomorrow morning, so there's nothing wrong with taking some profits, and to be very careful nonetheless, because like I said before, PPI could be risky. We also have FOMC tomorrow. So get ready, guys, and I'll see you guys later on. Market to the moon as the long term is still incredibly bright, and peace out.